Welcome back to the Relius Reviews. Today's review is focused on Legends of the Hidden Temple, Episode 9 entitled The Irish Legend of Cuchulainn. And the official synopsis of Episode 9 is: 4 teams compete to win the chance at the Temple Run and $25,000. And before I give up my review, please like and subscribe and comment and tell me what I should review next. Episode 9, good episode nonetheless. Here is just my review on this episode. So the teams that are involved in this episode are the Red Jaguars, the Blue Barracudas, the Purple Parrots, and the Green Monkeys. And the Moat challenge was that one member of each team had to swim onto another platform, and the teams had to catch 2 slivers while switching positions each time. And then they would have to catch another sliver by the end of the game and everything. And whoever finishes advanced into the steps of knowledge. And so the Purple Parrots, they basically start off in the lead at first during the first part, but the Blue Barracudas were able to take advantage of the second part. And basically it was somewhat of a close game between all of the 4 teams, to say the least, as the Blue Barracudas were the first team to hit the gong in advance. And during the game, it was a huge battle between the Red Jaguars, the Purple Parrots, and the Green Monkeys, as in who was going to advance to the steps of knowledge. And long story short, the Red Jaguars and the Purple Parrots were a lot faster than the Green Monkeys, and they advanced into the steps of knowledge. So the teams advancing were the Blue Barracudas, the Red Jaguars, and the Purple Parrots. The Steps of Knowledge was up next, and honestly, it was a crazy game, as the Blue Barracudas started off on a very hot streak, and it seemed as if they were about to become the first team to advance to the Temple Games, but the Red Jaguars were slowly catching up, and it was a 2-way tie between the Red Jaguars and the Blue Barracudas, and the Red Jaguars became the first team to advance to the Temple Games. The Purple Parrots were in dead last place, but they slowly started catching up, and once again, another huge way tie between the Blue Barracudas and the Purple Parrots. And long story short, the Blue Barracudas advanced to the Temple Games with the Red Jaguars. Now, the first Temple game was somewhat interesting, as each of the teams had to kill their brother, their enemy, in 3 days while they were somewhat together, while holding balance on a bridge beam, with the other team trying to knock them down with dodgeballs and everything else. And the Red Jaguars, they were the first to play, and they started off on a decent pace, but during the second bridge, they had the most trouble with it, as the Blue Barracudas kept knocking them down and down and down and down so many times. They were able to somehow advance to the third bridge and everything, knock down the brother, kill the brother, and long story short, they finished within 2 minutes to spare. The Blue Barracudas was up next, and they went on a faster route than the Red Jaguars. They were able to knock down and kill the brother 3 different times on all 3 bridges, very faster than the Red Jaguars, and they finished basically with 90 seconds left to spare. So the Blue Barracudas won Temple Game number 1. The second Temple game was 2 teams competing at the same time, and they had to defeat their enemies in 3 different ways by 3 different animals. One as an eel, one as a wolverine, and one as a cattle. And they had to place their enemies, place the objects on top of a bucket, and balance them. And one of the team members had to lay down and go to sleep. And it was a close game once again, as the Blue Barracudas started off in the lead with the Red Jaguars not far behind. The Blue Barracudas had some trouble in the last portion of the game with the cattle portion, and the Red Jaguars catching up just like that. But long story short, it was not even close. The Blue Barracudas won the second Temple game, and they advanced into the Temple Games. And the members of the Blue Barracudas are Justin and Josh. And the artifact location was located in the room of the lost treasure, and it was a sword. Justin starts off the temple run and everything. He has a little bit of trouble in the Crypt of the Heartless until he encounters a temple guard in the Pit of Despair. He continues up into the Pit of Despair, has a lot more trouble there as well until he makes it into the Room of the Beloved, and that is where he encounters another temple guard. Josh, he continues the run where Justin left off and everything, and look of the behold, Kurt Fogg makes another appearance in the Shrine of the Silver Monkey, giving Josh encouragement to keep going, to keep fighting and everything else. Josh encounters another temple guard in the Queen's armory. He makes it to the Room of the Lost Treasure and is able to grab the artifact, but sadly, time was up, and the episode basically ends with no victory once again. And I would say what I like about this episode was that all of the teams were interesting. It really didn't matter who won because I kind of wanted to see all of them make it to the temple to see how they would do. The Blue Barracudas, they was a cool team nonetheless, and they were pretty dominant in some of the games. It was really cool to see Kurt Fogg make a small cameo appearance once again, this time in the Shrine of the Silver Monkey. It was really nice to see him. Hopefully he makes more appearances down the line. Only time will tell. But once again, it was a cool episode. So thank you for watching. And until next time, goodbye.